Hi friends, Andrew again. Today I'd like to discuss with you what God and the universe have in store for you and what they're trying to communicate with you. So, let's dive in, shall we? I'm up here in Oregon, as you can tell, change of scenery. I'm up here with my girlfriend Erin. We're having a great time, and we're going to be getting out into nature to better connect with Mother Earth and see what she has to say. So, speaking of that, today I was out hiking for a short walk, and I found this beautiful area on this local trail here. And I sat down and I grounded myself into Mother Earth. I took my shoes off and was barefoot in the forest. And I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, and I just felt this overwhelming sensation of oneness and connectedness. And this buzzing sensation came up from the ground into my feet, and it was unlike anything I had felt before when I'd been grounding, and it was just powerful. And I got this gnosis, a knowing of there was information contained in this buzzing, and I couldn't even put my finger on exactly what that information was or is still, but nonetheless, it is coming through to me, and it is coming through to you as well. You just have to listen. So I actually came back and I did some oracle card readings. Yesterday, I drew these cards: flexibility, divine wisdom, and dreams, which happens to be number 26. The Tetragrammatron, if you're familiar with that, the name of God. So what does that all mean? Well, first of all, flexibility, not only in your physical body, which was ironic and synchronistic because I was doing some flexibility exercises right when I had drawn that card. So that was a wink from the universe, a nudge. But the meaning of it is really to not be so ingrained in your thoughts or what you see coming at you, and what you see at first might not be what it turns out to be later. So be open with these things. Don't get into a dogmatic worldview on what these messages mean or don't mean. Be open to interpretation. They could mean many things, but you'll know what they mean when your soul is speaking to you. And that's, one way this happens is through dreams, the card dreams. I've been having a lot of vivid dreams. I know a lot of my friends have been having them as well, where they go to sleep, every night, and they tell me, I had this crazy dream, but I can't remember it. And I was having the exact same experience. And so last night when I had drawn this card, I before I went to sleep, I told myself I'd like to remember my dreams more vividly tonight and be able to recall them. Because I was struggling even trying to get up to remember these things. I'd think, oh, I'll remember that when I wake up, and I wouldn't remember. And so last night I made sure to wake up and actually take those notes in a dream journal. And so one thing I wanted to bring through was that if you are having these dreams, it would be a good idea to journal about them if you haven't been doing so already. These things might not seem super significant in the moment, but they might actually be a reoccurring theme that you notice only after multiple dreams occur, or the dream occurs and then you see something in your waking day the next day or the day after, and you might be thinking, well, I would just remember that, and you might remember that, but it might slip away like it does to me or others. So by journaling about these things, you lock them into your long-term memory, and it's easier to then check dates. What date did this occur on? What time did this occur on? And see if there's themes occurring that way, not just through card readings or through intuitive messages, but through your dreams, because your dreams are your subconscious, and not just the subconscious, but your higher self and other entities can try to communicate with you that way as well. So be open to hearing those things when you wake up in the morning, and like I said, I was waking up in the middle of the night to try and write them down because that's the best way for me, and so that's another way you could try as well. But when I got back today, I was talking to Erin about this fact that I was getting these downloads on the hike, and I pulled out my Divine Masters deck from Kyle Gray, one of my favorites. And the first card I drew was Sanat Kumara, which is signs, codes, downloads, and sacred information. I mean, that's literally what she and I had just been talking about, what I had been experiencing, and then 30 minutes later, I draw the card that talks exactly about that. He's a member of the Venusian Galactic Council, and I'm just beginning to learn about them, but they've been coming through to me through my cards and are trying to show me this heart-centered approach as we move through our everyday life. And if you're familiar with heart math, putting your hands over your heart and taking some deep breaths and centering into gratitude and feeling that unconditional love for everything. I mean, it really grounds you into the here and now. It helps you melt away your worries and stresses about other things that don't really matter in the big scheme of things. And then the other card I drew was Jesus. You know, I know a lot of us are familiar with Jesus, but what he comes through to talk about is acts of service. When you serve, the universe serves you. And so service, that doesn't mean you have to be self-sacrificing, but self-service, service to others can be through this message of like what I do. I'm receiving this information, and instead of just bottling it up and keeping it inside of myself, I've been compelled to share it, which is scary to do, believe it or not. Making these videos was not something that just came to me naturally. And it was scary to put myself out there because people, are going to think what they're going to think. And I have to come to terms with the fact that I can't control what others think, and I am in control of how I am, and that's all I can control. And so by putting myself out there, I'm hoping to show others that they can do what I'm doing, that you can speak your truth without fear. And that is, an act of service to others. And that's just one way that I am trying to do that, by sharing these messages with you and others. So that's kind of what I've been going through right now. Like I said, I'm going to be getting out there into nature, and I want to be doing some of these videos out there. This weekend, we're going to be going to a place called Sweet Creek, and I want to record a video out there and maybe bring some singing bowls maybe, and take those out into nature and kind of commune with nature and see what she has to say, and give thanks to her for all she gives to us, because without her, we wouldn't be able to breathe or live on this great place we call Earth. So with that, if you'd like to join me for just a moment, I'd like to play this singing bowl here and ground ourselves in gratitude. So just close your eyes and take a deep breath and begin to think of some things that you are grateful for, people in your life that you're grateful for, events, places, people, things, and just be grateful for all of that, and take that gratefulness and just breathe it in and breathe it out to the rest of the universe, and shower everyone around you in that joy. And thank you for joining me. If this has resonated with you, I'd encourage you to like and subscribe and join me for future messages. And with that, from my heart to yours, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.